And again, like we're recording now. So, but if there is something that you guys want me to remove or something, I mean, I'll do it. I'll ask you guys if you want me to remove something, I'll remove it. So I'll respect that. All right.
All
Cool.
right.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Welcome to Beast Games Season 2. So we got some beef to settle here. Me, Ian, Tyler, Omar. So it's great to have you guys all together. We've gotten, all of us, I think, have gotten a lot of questions on and comments on the obstacle course on episode 3. And I figured, let's just get all of us here together and just answer these questions and, just our reaction to the episode, the background, um, the obstacle course itself, and just stuff like that. So first, I figured let's just start with some intros. So I'll go first. Number 27, I was on the SMART team. Quick background about me. I'm an aerospace engineer. I got a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering, 2 master's degrees, and yeah, I've been in aerospace for about 10 years. And I applied for Bees Games, got in. I was super excited. I definitely felt intimidated. A lot of NASA rocket engineers and super high IQ people, so definitely had a little bit of imposter syndrome. But that's it about me. Ian, you want to go next?
Yeah, my name's Ian, number 148, and I was on the strong team. Growing up, I ran high school and college track, got big into weightlifting, and then I was sitting on the couch one day watching American Ninja Warrior, and I'm like, shoot, I could do that. You know what I mean? So I applied, and I've been doing it for 9 years now, 8 of which I've been kind of coaching and developing those around me.
Mhm.
And that was my, I guess, claim to fame why they wanted me on the show.
Yeah. A quick note about Ian. When I saw you, like I remember one of the first times I saw you, we were taking pictures for Beast Games and getting measured for the uniforms. I'm like, bro, this guy's gonna go far. I can just tell
Oh,
this guy's a big
my
tall dude,
man.
bro. He's gonna go far. All right, Omar, you get next.
Yeah. So Omar, number 6, smart team. Let's see. Why did I get picked for smart team? So I graduated from the #1 high school in America, actually, which was kind of
Oh,
cool.
wait,
I
what
know,
school?
right?
What school is
It's
that?
called Thomas Jefferson High School for Science and Technology. So yeah, it's over here in
Virginia?
Northern Virginia.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
But yeah, I've been a software and data engineer for 10 years. And I like on the side write children's books, and they're back here. CC. Oh, look at that. Like
Ooh,
do
look
my
at
best Vanna White impression.
that.
Um, so yeah, no, that's a little bit about me.
All
Appreciate
right, Tyler,
that.
strong man. I've
Is that
spoken
your
about Tyler here a million times. What's up?
passion, Omar? Is children books?
Yeah, I'm always into like teaching and like just like connecting with children and stuff. So like I love it. Like so I started with poetry and then like I got into that as kind of like segue into that. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Omar, I feel like you should say that you are into children's books and books that appeal to Ian. So we're on the smart or the strong team, not the smart team. I'm dyslexic. Those big thick books without pictures, I am not reading those.
Come on, give you guys some credit. Honestly, I said this a few times during the games. I saw a lot more strong people that were super smart than smart people that were super strong.
That's
Like,
true.
yeah,
Mm.
for sure. All right, Tyler.
Speaking of,
Let's,
you must be
yeah,
talking about Tyler.
yeah, yeah. Speaking of that, Tyler, let's hear it.
Yeah. Well, I guess growing up, I was put into PACE class, which is gifted education, which you have to have 130 IQ for that. And
What the-
I-
oh,
I thought you were talking paste, like eating the paste. I got put in that class. They're like, quit eating it.
and then I have a master's degree in business, and I'm a project controls technical specialist. I build chemical plants, oil refineries. I schedule out all the activities that have to happen for those. And I put it in the software program. And so it's like big, like $billion projects that I work
See,
on.
that's what's crazy. I was just gonna say that's what's crazy to me is like I didn't know that. Like we spent 3 weeks together, and then I'm like I'm just learning this. So that's
And
really cool.
what's crazy is that also, so my undergrad degree was in English with a concentration in creative writing. And I
Oh,
also like to write books. That was like one of my, I guess, that is like kind of like a hobby. And so I
yeah.
actually have a Christmas book called The Night Before Liftmas, which
Oh,
is
no way.
but he's like jacked, you know.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to go look this up. That's
Yeah,
Wait,
awesome.
Tyler.
It's
Yeah.
on Amazon and stuff for sale. Yeah, I have a
Oh,
book. It's
I'm
I'm
a
a
out
fan
there.
of published author.
yeah. Wait, Tyler. You mentioned Pace. You mentioned you're an author. What about the strongman, bro?
Yeah. So okay. So
Forgot about that part.
I always loved to compete in sports growing up, and I feel like I was just always on like kind of just not very good teams. But like, I've always wondered if I had done an individual sport, like how far I could take it. And I know like working out in the weight room in high school, I was always like really strong pound for pound. I worked really hard in my 20s, going to college and working in shipyards and working my way up in my career. And then once I turned 30, I decided to try out the sport of strongman because growing up, I watched all these big guys pulling airplanes and doing all kinds of cool stuff. And I found out they had weight classes.
Mhm.
So at the age of 30, I was like, well, let's see how I can do. I'm always strong. I was strong pound for pound, so I started working out again. And then I ended up winning like my first 5 amateur shows, went to like amateur nationals. I ended up winning, like eventually winning amateur nationals. Then I started doing pro shows around the world. And at this point, now I've won like 5 world championship pro shows for my weight class. I won the title of world's strongest 90-kilogram man. And and actually I met my wife in the sport, and she's a very accomplished 64-kilogram strong woman. So, and actually that's why Beast Games approached me. They were looking for people, I think, with just some more strength accolades. And I got an email, and they asked would I be interested in applying. And so I was actually approached to apply to Beast Games.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's awesome. Wow. By the way, not that many people were approached to apply. That's pretty.
Yeah,
that's
a couple others that I talked to.
Yeah, that's
so,
pretty awesome.
I was gonna say, so Ian, you also said you started, Ninja Warrior like in the last 9 years. Like around what age was that? I'm curious because like it sounds like both of you started like close to your 30s.
Yeah,
I'm not trying
30.
to age you, Ian, but basically I'm like, oh, okay, so there's still time if I want to go compete in something. Like
There's
I'm not
hope.
aged out yet.
There's hope.
And a lot of sports
One
have
day.
masters classes. So I mean, like even people that end up, once you're 40 years old, you can compete in the masters class.
Yep. Same with
Wow.
Ninja.
Take it real seriously. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, that's impressive. So now that we got the intros out of the way, the next thing I wanted to talk about was we'll just dive right into it. So thoughts and reactions to how we created our team. So we're all there. Just a quick background. We're there. We just finished the block challenge, I believe, right? And then that night, there's a timer put up. We have to choose our teams. And Mr. Beast just makes this crazy announcement that, oh yeah, by the way, tomorrow half of you are going to be gone. Something wild like that. Do you guys remember?
Yeah. And you put the timer up. We call it Beast City time, where they put that timer up, that countdown clock, and then it said half are going to be gone.
Yeah.
So we saw the podiums, the 10 podiums, and there's 50 of us. So we all know we got to divide up in probably 5-person teams, right?
Yeah. So there were a lot of rumors about that. There's going to be like 5 teams of 10 or something like that. So I guess background on my end was, okay, we were the last challenge, the block challenge. We were the last ones. We just finished. And I'm like, oh, I was so happy. Yes, we made it to the top 50. And I'm like, I just need a break. And then Mr. Beast comes in and he makes this announcement. It's like, yeah, literally the next day, half of you again are going to be gone. I'm like, oh, come on, man. I just got in here. So that was, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, we kept thinking that at some point they're going to start cutting less people. We're like, okay, they went from 200 to 100, and then they went from 100 to 50. We're like, cool, we made it over the big hump. Like, they're going to stop cutting it by half at some point.
Yeah.
And then like, you're going to be cut in half. You're like, God dang,
Dude, same thing. I did not think that they were going to cut it in half. I think that was the biggest shock for me. It wasn't that, oh yeah, we're going to have another challenge. It's that we're going to be cut in half again. I'm like, oh my God. Ian, what about you? What were your thoughts when this was all happening? Background, everything?
Right before that, I was thinking groups of 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
So groups of 10, we kind of all were had that in our mind, and then the twist is it's groups of 5. So groups of 5, okay, well let me try and look for my group of 10, and we can go from there. But as he says, go on the show, it looks orderly, it looks calm.
Yeah.
Hey, what about you and me? I tell you, when he said, all right, go, it was bananas. It was everyone scattered. That my 10 that was by me is now all over the place. Half of them were with other people, half of them were, and I'm at a loss, honestly. I'm like, crap. I was not prepared for this.
Yeah, for sure. So on that, actually, it looks very orderly in the episode. And a lot of times the clock, it's fake, right? It'll be like, 24 hours, but they'll stop it because of all the thunderstorms. And we got like, instead of 24 hours, we have like 2 days or 3 days. That happened a few times. But this time when they said 1 hour, I'm pretty sure it was just 1 hour we had to make teams. And then a lot of things, like one of the things they didn't show on TV is that it wasn't just any 5. Because I'm sure if that was the case, I mean, I feel like all the strong team would just get together in one team. It was, you had to have 3 strong and 2 smart, right? I think that was the deal, something like that, right?
Yeah. I think he said like each team has to have 2 smart, and in the show they do address it. Somebody says like, "Hey, I think we should grab 2 smart," but yeah, it was definitely like given to us as an instruction.
Yeah, and at that point, I think all of us we had an idea that there was going to be a bribe, maybe because we saw those towers for like weeks, and then also maybe it could be an obstacle course. Maybe we just weren't 100% sure. Do you guys remember that part at all?
There was just so much speculation.
We we were kind of like peeking over, like we were always trying to figure out what the next challenge was.
Info farming.
And we could see there was something being constructed, just off-site, just outside the city. Looks like some kind of obstacle course, but also inside the city we had the bribe towers. And so we were thinking, I think the thought was we need athletic people, you need smart people, you need people who are also, most importantly, probably loyal, and people who wouldn't sell you out.
Yep.
And so we, we're thinking teams of 5. We thought we had like 5 people who wouldn't sell us out. Well, when they threw that curveball that you also had to have 2 smarts, honestly, like Inaam and Omar, you two were a huge selling point. One of the reasons I came over is because I knew that you two had a connection, that y'all were very tight with each other. Yeah. And that was a good selling point because I knew like you wouldn't want to screw each other over,
Yeah, that was smart. Honestly, that was very smart on you guys' end because Ian said something very similar. And yeah, we'll talk about that. So when they announced that it was just gonna be 5, I'm like, okay, me and Omar I know that's 2 of us that's gonna be there for sure. But it's like, how do we find 3 strong people that we trust? I trusted Ian. Yeah, what's up?
I was gonna say for a while we were trying to split up.
In case there was a bribe situation.
Yeah. And so that was actually our first strategy, at least like the way I went into it for sure was I was like, I got to get away from Inaam as far as possible, basically, because I was like, if it comes to like somebody, turning against our team, I was like, I can't be in that situation against this guy. Yeah. So we were trying to split up, and I think teams got formed so quick and it was so hectic that I just like got stuck next to you. I was like, what the heck is going on? And
then,
it was so fast.
So it sounds like you had a similar thought of it could be the bribe tower. And you don't, so was it, you don't want to be in a bribe with him? Explain that again.
So I'll be honest, going in, I had spent weeks with Inaam at this point. I was like, if it comes to bribes, I'm not betraying him. I did not have that same conviction for anybody else. And I'll be honest, like, so, when we got up there with you guys, once we made our team and we were like, you're not going to betray us. Then I was like, okay, yes, I'm not going to betray you. Like, because I gave you my word at that point. Before that, I was like, yeah, I don't, everybody else to me is like on the same level. I just, I don't know. So, basically like Inaam was that security, and I think that's fair. Like that was good.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, I wish I had Omar's wisdom. I was a lot more there for the experience, and me and Ian had that conversation many times. And I think, to be honest, that's probably one of the reasons Ian trusted me, because I think both of us knew that we weren't there for the bribe. We're trying to get to the end or get eliminated. At least for me personally, I was like, I'm either gonna get to the end or get eliminated. I'm not here for a bribe, and it's a dumb move maybe. But I was there. I was having a good time, and I was having fun hanging out with everyone. It was a once in a lifetime experience, and so I was like, I'll figure it out. So, I think Omar is right. We were like trying to split up, but then it just became us 2, and then I trusted Ian, and then Ian came with these other 2 strong folks. It was Briley and Tyler. Briley, I knew a little bit. Tyler, I actually didn't know much at all. We spent time and got to know each other. But yeah, go ahead, Ian. I know you didn't get to talk much on it yet.
Yeah, it happened very quick. I had been approached or talked to by a handful of other people. I think at one point it was Jeff, or it might have even been Sue, Survivor Sue, but she was with Jeff, and so I quickly shut that down. Sorry, Sue. Sorry, Jeff. But
wait, can I ask why? Why Jeff?
Yeah, at the time I didn't want to be associated with Jeff. I wanted to go against Jeff, and the reason I saw, of course, we all watched season 1, and Jeff is phenomenal, and I wanted to get him out before he could make too much of an impact on all the people, before he could build those relationships. And so, I was like, if I'm on his team, I'm gonna fight, to the death for my team, and that would mean keeping him here. This is a chance that he could be sent home. Again, I want to be clear. I love Jeff. He's a phenomenal individual. Same with Sue. But I'm a competitor, and I'm here to win. And so in my mind, I'm like, I haven't gotten close to him yet. Let's get him out. So And we had the mantra, all of us, I think both Smarts and the strong team, of let's get out the OGs, right? Like that was a common enemy. Oh, this is easy. Let's turn and get these, OGs out. So again, the scatter happens, and that scatter also included me being scattered from Tyler, me being scattered from Briley. I was literally standing there by myself, and I was like, okay. I need to lock in here. I was able to see Briley maybe 10 feet ahead of me. I ran up, I grabbed her. I turned around, and maybe you can speak to this, but you approached me like, Ian, let's go. Now, you and I, we had talked a handful of times beforehand. We weren't the closest. Like, you weren't the closest Smart that I was to. You weren't. Help me out, Smart team. You weren't
You were
the closest Smart person. Something like that. You all get it at home.
Honestly, no. This is we had mutual goals, and the fact that we weren't the closest, but we both wanted to win. We wouldn't want each other to get out. Like that's kind of how it was.
I knew that I could trust you, and I recall you maybe twice prior to that saying, I would love to work with you in the game. And I was like, man, I would love to work with you too. Like, I was totally down. So, I saw you, and I was like, and you're like, and I got Omar. Mind you, Omar, unfortunately, you and I haven't talked much, right?
Right.
And so
which, it's funny because there's a moment in, I don't know if it's episode 1 or 2 or whatever, where we're like lifting together, and I just don't remember that at all. Like
I don't remember it either.
Right. I have no memory of that, but
no. It must have been during that, like, no sleep haze when we're just like walking around like zombies, and I don't really recall anything I did, but we'll see it on TV. So but similar to Inaam and Tyler, you guys hadn't really talked. Me and Omar haven't really talked. Maybe pleasantries, that's about it. But Inaam, I think you and I were the kind of the glue that brought these two forces together.
For sure. Yeah, and honestly, so just I made a quick note about Jeff. I saw your video earlier with Briley and Tyler talking about Jeff, and dude, I so agreed with you. It's like I saw Jeff when he entered the show. It was like, oh my God, we got to get him out. He's an OG. He already won $10 million. Within a day, like half the teams, they liked Jeff. He's like, oh, Jeff is a great guy. He's nice. I'm like, what is going on here? Like, he infiltrated so quickly, and he's so effective. And dude, props to him. He's a great talker. But I'm back. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I feel like it was like the strong team specifically that like he aligned himself with somehow. I don't know how it worked out that way, but
I think it was a dodgeball game. After watching the video, it was like, it seemed like it was during the dodgeball game. They kind of built rapport.
But I feel like
he really is just a very good, like, genuine guy. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's a problem.
You can't help but like him.
And he's smart, and he's smart, and he's strategic, and he gives that to his advantage.
And physical, very athletic.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think he does like medical sales or something. He's like a salesman. He's got the personality. So.
Yeah. But I feel like his performance in dodgeball might have made, as a strong, I might have turned against him, because I saw him like at least in the show, what it looked like was him like maybe hiding behind people, and like
he was.
That's fair. And I'm like, that's a good strategy. But as a strong, I would have been like annoyed with him. I would have been like, man, he's ruining my strategy, whatever.
I would think the other way. I would think the strong team, hey, he's a winner, bro. He's being competitive. He's doing what he's got to do to win. I respect that.
I think what happened is, the initial plan was to get all the Smarts out and get the OGs out, and then you'll have 9 strong left. The issue, the wrench in the system was Akira, and he comes in like a bat out of hell, throwing balls all over the place,
bro,
getting out strong people as well. And so at the end of the day, Jeff makes the cut because he ends up being one of the final 9, and then they all kind of spend time together, bus back to the city together. They're in the city for half the day together before like we show up, because I remember I showed up and I saw Nick August, gave him a hug, and we're like super hyped, and the first thing Nick says, bro, you got to come talk to Jeff, come on over. And I'm like, what happened? No, bro, trust me, saying it how Nick says it. I'm like, oh my gosh, bro, what happened over there?
Yeah. And just coming back to our team. Well, first of all, Jeff, dude, I was shocked because, obviously we got eliminated episode 3, spoiler alert, right? Everyone probably knows that by now. But then the fact that Jeff went on, I'm like, bro, this guy, Jeff, bro, he actually made it on to the next episode. But back to our team. So once, me and Omar were together, Ian, Briley and Tyler, and then Ian and I, we kind of meshed the 2 teams together. We got a team of 5. Once that happened, I looked back at our team and I'm like, bro, we're stacked. Like, We got the strongman here. We got Ian, who's ninja warrior, but dude, you're like an all rounder. You're tall, big, and you're pretty nimble, right? And then Briley too. Anyone who's like CrossFit, I'm like, bro, those guys are. This is basically they're killing it on Beast Games right now. That's what I noticed. The pattern I noticed. And then me and Omar, I could trust Omar. I know he's smart, and then I could trust everyone here. It's not just being smart and athletic. It's like everyone's trustworthy. No one's gonna take the bribe. That's a big one. That's something none of the other teams had. And so when I saw that, I'm like, yo, we're stacked. I actually think that was one of the reasons why we were chosen last. Like no one wanted to play against us because of that. And we ended up getting the toughest game. We also didn't get chosen on that wheel. So it's like, I think there was obviously some luck factors there. If we had any other game, I doubt we would have lost against any other team. I just don't see it.
Yeah. And I feel like actually we had Eric and Vance's team was probably the other best team. Like I think of all the teams, they were a stacked team too.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like the two most stacked teams went last.
Yeah, and it made sense. No one wanted to go against them. And, if you think about it, so many people fell off that obstacle range. You and Tyler went with that giant thing in your hands. That's pretty crazy. And actually, while we're on this, Tyler, I don't know if you do you want to talk about the whole Eric situation? Because that happened during the whole choosing teams.
Yeah, I can explain a little bit about the background on that. But we worked together on the Bluff game. And in Bluff, at one point in the game, there's actually a time limit, and you had to get into your circle quickly. And so we just trusted each other. I'd tell him his color, he'd tell me mine. We didn't cross-check with other people. We just went into our circles. And I was like, awesome. Look, I told him, I was like, I promise I'm going to give you the right one. If I tell you, I'm not going to lie to you. So he said the same thing to me. And we just trusted each other. And so we built a lot of trust in that. And I had, of course, so I have nothing against him. I built a good relationship with Eric. We kind of had our team of 5 was, from what I understood, was me, Briley, Ian, Vance, and Eric. So that was a very solid, strong team. And we were hoping that would be the 5 that would go on the podium. Well, we, with the 2 smarts that were thrown in that was required.
Yeah, they're messing.
At that point, I think the reason everybody's scrambling around is because we now have to find who our 2 smarts are. We'll grab up, and so everybody's kind of spread out and scrambling around. And man, I did not like the couple of the smarts that were going to be joined with Eric and Vance and me.
Who was it? It was Ethan. Who was the other one?
No, they actually ended up finding 2 good smarts with Ethan and Mike.
Okay.
At that point, there was one there. I don't even want to say his name, but he's
I know.
Anyways,
I know what you guys are talking about now.
He's a strange character, and I'm like, dude, if see, one of the things you think, what if we all have to stand in the circle, on the podium, and the first person to step off wins the bribe?
Right.
We had no idea, right? And I'm like, no, I'm not going to go into a situation with this dude where he could just step off and eliminate me. So we just didn't know, right? And so I wanted a team where I could trust every single person on the team.
Yeah.
And
so can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, can I ask you a question, Ian? It's maybe like what. I don't think they showed a ton of it on screen of like what did you actually go to Tyler and say, or like was that kind of your pitch to him, or was it something else?
My pitch was pretty short, to be honest with you. So there's the 4 of us, or it might have even been right before that. Actually, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm an Omar. It might have been like we turned, you were there, we had like a quick I think both of you were like, hey, let's do this. And I kind of look at Riley and I was thinking, again, I'm a little bit slower of a thinker than y'all, right? And then I was like, in my mind, I'm like, we need one more strong person. We're gonna have to go recruit, and it kind of all formed at the same time. But what's interesting here, the feedback I've gotten post games as on Tyler, because he's up on the bribe tower, and we don't know what happens, and a lot of people are really scared for me right now, family, friends, like. You can't trust Tyler. And I picked Tyler for a reason, because I could trust him, right? Now, I feel bad now, hindsight. I feel bad because it put Eric and Vance in a bad spot, and we were friends with Eric and Vance. But it was like that self-preservation, and I need, to Tyler's point, I need people on my team that are not going to take a bribe.
Yeah.
Tyler, without a doubt, And we had Tyler, how many conversations have we talked about it? About taking a bribe or not taking a bribe, or who would take a bribe? The captain of our team in our 10, like it was daily. Who can we trust? Who can we not? And we even, shout out to Ty. He was able to sniff out some situations with some people that we were close to that would have taken a bribe, based off of some of his conversations. And so, information's power. Yeah. So I really, to go back to your question, I'm sorry not to interrupt. To go back to your question, I go over to Ty and I'm like, Ty, come here. He comes over and my pitch was, you're with us, man. Like, me. Like we literally spend all day in the gym together. Like you're my boy. Stick with me. We got a stack team and we can go far together, and you can trust me. And then, I could tell that it was conflicting because he didn't want to hurt Eric and Vance. And I didn't want to either. But I think I said something along the lines of like, at the end of the day, this is your game. Do you want to put your game in that team? Yeah. Or in me?
Oof, and look at the sales guy.
Honestly. And I think that's the thing that's a trait that I've noticed with a lot of strongs is like, but especially you, Ian, I'll say like, it's just like the confidence. Like, yes, we were all there to win, but I think being willing to,
burn bridges, basically. Yeah, I mean,
burn bridges, but also like address it head on. Like there's a moment in the balance challenge where I can't remember who you're talking to. You're trying to get somebody to go against you, and you're like,
Jeremy. I respect that, man. This guy is not scared of a challenge. I respect that.
That's the thing is, and I think it's a character trait that I noticed a lot among some of the strongs. But Ian, like the strong of the strongs, I think it's maybe I don't know. Yeah. It's interesting.
There's two words that could go closely together, which is confidence and cocky, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I ran high school and college track, and the mantra of our team was expect to win, expect to win, expect to win. Like, and so no matter what race I was up, what jump I was doing, it was, I'm expecting to win. I've been putting in the work. I'm an athlete. I know how to turn it on. I know how to lock in pressure of the lights, camera, Ninja Warrior hanging, in front of a crowd. Whatever, expect to win. I'm here to win. So, there is a confidence that I carried, and it 100% was confidence as I was talking to Tyler, because I had invested so much real connection, real time, real friendship into Tyler.
Yeah. And I guess just for Tyler, it seemed like, because they made it look so much worse on the episode, and I think Mr. Beast also, he wants to make it more entertaining, so he kind of stokes a fire a little bit too. Honestly, I think the only thing that happened was Tyler wanted to stay loyal. It's just they added this rule about two smarts, and he had to break up. Like, and it made sense. The person who was gonna be on Tyler's team, now that I know that person was gonna take a bribe like 2 rounds ago. Like, it was guaranteed if he had the chance, he was gonna take the bribe, and I can see where that's coming from.
Yeah. Well, back to sports, like, you kind of visualize situations and visualize winning. And, with Ian and I having conversations a lot in the city about what we would do in different situations with bribes and where he stood, where I stood. I could definitely visualize winning with Ian,
Yeah.
And so I had to go with that. But yeah, Mr. Beast, of course, there's some good drama. I did have to betray. Like, I did have to kind of choose, not necessarily betray, but I had to choose one friend over another. And so somebody was going to lose out, and that did make good TV. And honestly, I did get kind of pissed, like, because I wanted to tell Eric, like, man, I can't be with you in this challenge, but we'll work together again. Like, it's not that I don't like you, I don't trust you. I'm doing what I think's best. What's going to give me the best chance right now. But I wanted to work with him again later.
Yeah.
But like, for him, it was like I burned the bridge, kind of. And I think he was getting into really building up the drama around it, and he started talking really, like, they don't show how much trash he talked. And I was kind of quiet for a while, and then it started making me a little angry, so I started talking back. And then once they gave the options for those bugle sticks, and Omar on the show, it even shows that you're like, well, this is the only way we could have 5 people cross. So it really fed into like, let's do this. Like, I'll knock his ass in the water.
I was gonna say, I have a question for you, Tyler, but I was gonna say, I think initially I thought you were very, like, maybe reserved or like quieter, like, especially for one of the strong. Like, I think a lot of the strongs were like very like loud and outspoken and cocky and whatever, or confident. I'll say Ian, but
my man.
and Tyler, you were very reserved, but then you got attacked a good amount, and you were like, you know what, like, I'm here to defend myself. And I thought that was cool. So I had a lot of respect for you, Tyler. I feel like we didn't get a lot of time to connect like that. I think that was like maybe one of the first moments that we actually talked in the city. But then I was very happy with our team. I was like super hyped.
So
Yeah.
good.
So, but I wanted to ask Tyler, how are you and Eric now? Do you want to address that?
I think we're pretty cool. Like we actually message each other every once in a while, and I think he can appreciate that we really got to be in the limelight because of what happened.
Mhm.
I would say like none of that is fake. Like we really were upset with each other,
Mhm.
and it really was a lot of drama, and I got angry, and so everything the viewers are seeing is real, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
But now looking at it in hindsight, we're kind of blessed that we had some of that. And like now, like I looked, Amazon Prime Video has me, like my face on there. And they have like a huge following, millions of followers. And me and Eric are on there with our feud,
Yeah.
Of course, Eric and I think that is just awesome.
Yeah. And just, go ahead. Sorry, finish. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. We both share that, that was awesome. We got to do that together. And, what if season 3, 4, they want to bring us back and we get to do something again? Because, so I think he appreciates the value in that. And I don't think he really holds too much hard feelings.
Yeah. No, to piggyback off of that, I think what I noticed that was happening was that I think Eric also just slowly started talking more and more trash, because I think what was happening is that he was disappointed in his team. He saw that you did end up joining a good team, that no one was going to take a bribe, and he wasn't as sure about his team. So he felt a little bit betrayed about that, hey, he got the better team, because the trash talk definitely started to kick up more and more as we got to our game. And then also what I'll say is Tyler's so spot on. None of that was fake. And Omar, I'm sure you can say the same about this. When we got eliminated, and right after the elimination, they take you in a bus and go to a separate hotel and all that, emotions were high in the car. They were
that was the most tense little van ride. Yeah.
Me and Omar were like the only ones happy. We're like, yeah, we get to go back to our family. Everyone else was bawling. It was pretty tough. I was like, oh shoot.
And I'm glad what they showed on behind the scenes. I mean, we haven't got to the actual, the challenge yet, but they do show on behind the scenes like some of the things that were not shown on the episode and what happened in the challenge. Like Ian, I'll let you talk to it once we get there. But I mean, it got physical. Like I mean, ours was definitely the most physical. Like I think for as much care as the Beast Games team tries to take with like making sure there's no injuries and stuff like that, like they let it get pretty close, So I don't know. I'll just say it got interesting.
Do you guys want to start from like once we spoke on a reaction when we created the team? What about the strategy on creating the order, and then when we get up to the actual game? So what was the strategy on the order? You guys remember that?
So can I just address something? I just want to say real quick. We can edit it how we want, but I do want to call out that Briley's not here to speak to any of how this turned out. So I do want to address like Briley wanted to be here. She's tied up with family, so just shout out to Briley. I'm sorry you're not here.
Shout out to Briley. Yeah.
So how about this? So we're in the sand pit. We're up. We're the last people chosen. It's pouring down rain. We got our little life vests under our shirts, which I don't even know how it fit, because I'm like busting out of this little thing. And I tell you, I've never been so locked in my life walking up those stairs. Yeah. Like I know we got a job to do, and the bear has been poked in all of us, and I'm ready to go. So we don't know what the twist is for our challenge, right? So you've had the captain goes, only the captain. You've had, first 5, you've had some bribe and some other situations. So we don't know what it is. I'll be honest. Jimmy says it's the first 5. And I turn him like, sweet, let's go. Like, because I thought it was the first 5 to finish on one team, that team goes. But no, it's just the first 5 period.
Yeah.
So that's the twist.
Yeah. So on that right away, like you're saying, oh, it's the first 5 across. I knew right away that's what it meant. I'm like, oh shoot.
That's because you're smart.
No. It's like because he wouldn't make the last round that hard, and I'm like, okay, first 5. He means that first 5 from both teams combined. I'm like, oh. As soon as I saw that, I was telling Omar, I'm like, dude, we're not gonna get a chance.
Yeah. Because the moment he said it, I was like, I think we're done.
Yeah. And like you said, we were all locked in, and we even practiced. Remember that little that little setup we had with the blocks that we practiced on? And so we were all locked in to go, and we're like, we're gonna win. And just to add on to that point, when all the teams are going, we're watching it on that giant TV in B City. I don't know if you guys remember or not. We didn't get sound. I personally didn't know that each round was playing a different game until they actually won. I'm like, oh, okay, that team already won. What happened?
Yeah.
It wasn't until we got up there that Klitzner was like, oh yeah. By the way, you guys can't hear, but every team has a different set of rules, and they're gonna present what your rule is gonna be once you get up there. And so we get up there, and I think we had our order stacked in a way where, based on all the previous rounds, it was team one against team two. Whether it's captain or first three or all five, it's like let's have our fastest people in the front and slower in the back. So, we have the best chance of just getting through as fast as we can. Just have our, line all of our ducks up, the best ones in the front, and then the slower guys in the back. So that's how we kind of set it up going up there. So when we saw what the game was, at least for me personally, I told Omar, I'm like, bro, we're not going to get a chance. There's no way we get a chance. It's pretty much over for us now.
Yeah, and I was gonna say we knew for sure that Ian was going first because we said, okay, Ian, you have experience with something like this. You will go ahead and tell us where the hardest parts are. And that was really our strategy. Was like Ian was going to lead us, and I was shocked when it didn't end up that way. When Tyler was like gung ho about it, because I was like, Tyler, I don't know if you like. I'll be honest, looking at you, I was like, Tyler's like a strong dude, but does he have that agility? I have like the confidence to go ahead and do it with the stick. Like my thing was, we watched so many people fall, and like
it was wet.
It was wet. It was raining. It was slippery. I was just like, it was dark. Like, I don't know. It was just, to me, I had a lot of respect for you. I was like, dang, Tyler's like confident right now. He's locked in. So, awesome.
So we get up there, and let's talk about the comments over there. So we get up there. It's 5. Now we all know what the game is going to be. Only the first 5 get through. What are the conversations that start happening to us there? Because a lot of those conversations got removed, and Ian kind of looked like the bad guy there. I want to know Ian's thoughts on this, and Tyler, I want to know your thoughts over there, what the conversations was and what actually was shown on TV.
Yeah, Eric was talking a lot of smack on his platform, yelling over at us, and then I would pipe up and yell something back, and then I got the famous quote. He's like trying to talk me in. Once they bring those pugil sticks out, right? The pugil sticks, or the jousting sticks, as I think Jimmy called them. He didn't want to use them, of course. And
why would that be, Ty?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he want to go against you with a stick?
Yeah. And he told me he didn't want to do it and all. And I said, well, we'll take it under consideration. I've considered it. And the answer is no.
Legendary line.
Yeah. If you actually, to your point, so there's a lot of smack talk on the platforms. We get chosen. There's smack talk as we're walking up the stairs. We're standing there before we know the game. There's a lot of smack talk. The second we figure out, and first 5, there's a lot of smack talk. The second those sticks come out, it turns into, please, let's play an honorable game and don't bring the sticks.
That's right.
Well, wait a second. Like, why are you singing a different tune than what you were singing, right? And it's because, the game has changed now, right? And mind you, I also understand the power of confidence, and Eric and his team were portraying confidence and manipulation, and this is what we want. We want a battle. Let's go. And then it's Jimmy says, okay, actually you get a battle. Oh, well, let's play an honorable game. Well, the honorable game, guess what? I played the honorable game. Ty played the honorable game. Inaam, Omar, all of us did. Us carrying the sticks, that was within the rules. That was the guidelines. That's what the show wanted. That's what production set up was. Let's have some physicality at the end. And every single one of them could have brought the sticks. Now, then Eric figured that out. He figured out we're bringing the sticks. So then he says, okay, I'm going to challenge Tyler one-on-one with the sticks, which I respect. My man, let's go. And Tyler looks at me. Ian, respectfully, can I go first so I can go against him?
Savage.
Please go. Right. And I respected Tyler for asking me because we did already have the order set up. And so then Tyler's going to go first. But let's back up a little bit. Inaam, Omar, if you want to talk about how we decided on the order and how the back and forth went. It wasn't a quick conversation. There was a lot of dialogue, and everyone, I feel, was heard in what they wanted to do.
Yeah. So I think when we first got up there, before the sticks were shown, it was basically, I told Omar, I'm like, bro, we're not going to get a chance for this because based on the orders, like we're going to be last to go. Unless everyone just falls off the obstacle course, we're not going to get a chance. And that's when I started speaking up a little bit. I'm like, Ian, let me go first. Or Briley, let me get in front of you. Like, you guys are stronger. Let the smart guys go first. There's no chance. This is not fair. This is not what we agreed to, blah, blah, blah. And that's, I think, when Ian's comment came, like, you guys are slower than us. It just made him look bad. But like, you guys are slower than us. And everyone's like, yo.
I appreciate you saying that because,
Yeah.
again, that we're talking 20, 25 minutes of commentary.
Yeah.
And I was stating facts as we went along. And, you know,
we all wanted
two
to win.
schools of
We all
thought
wanted
here.
to go forward. Yeah.
Yeah, two schools of thought. It's fair, which is let's do rock, paper, scissors or something like that, or smart. How can we all get across?
Yeah.
How can we go about this strategically so we can all do it? I was committed to the team, all of us making it across. And the way that we did that and thought that was, Omar, when you said, you big boys, you got to go defend, you got to go fight for us if we have a chance.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I was getting. So this is before the sticks were shown. This is when all these comments were happening. So when they called out Ian, they're like, "Oh, you guys are slower than us." That was before the sticks were shown. Once the sticks came up and Mr. Beast is like, "Oh yeah, you can use these sticks to hit the other guys off, so more people on your team get across." That's when I said, "Look, guys, this is the fairest way." And Omar was saying this too. It's like, if you want the whole team to go, you guys have to go with the stick. And to Ian's credit, look, Ian at first was like, oh, it's gonna be hard with the stick, but then he did it for us. He didn't have to go with the stick.
I was gonna say but there was a moment, Ian, and you know, I've been curious to address it with you, that you were like, guys, I'm just gonna book it across, like I'm gonna go quick, like we'll be okay. And I think because when we were practicing in the city, again, we played on big blocks. The big blocks fell in the sand pit, and we were practicing that morning on like you were guiding us through it. And one of the things you kept telling us was like, use your hands to stabilize yourself. You were like, use your hands. And then the second they put that stick in our hands, I was like, crap, Ian kept telling us to use our hands. What the heck are we supposed to do? And so I think when they handed us those sticks, there was a moment where I think you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought you were like hesitant. You were like, guys, I'm going to get across super fast. Like, let me go. I'm going to get across as fast as I can. And I was like, you're going to abandon us. Like that's not going to work. Yeah. So I'd love if you want to address it. I don't know. That's from my perspective. There was a conversation where like it wasn't an immediate like
and before Ian, you say on that, I mean, rightfully so. Everyone before us, they're falling off without the stick. So if you were hesitant to go on with the stick, I mean, it made sense.
No, it makes sense. And I'm like, but the fact that I was like, dang, Ian, like Ninja Warrior, he has this experience. If he's nervous to go on with the stick, then I was like, what the heck am I doing here? Like I was nervous. So I'm just curious, what you think about it.
Yeah.
Like, were you nervous to take the stick at all? Oh, sorry.
You're good. So it wasn't nervous to do the stick. I think it's a similar conversation that happened on the other side of, do we just run it, right? Do we just do it without the sticks? So I was confident that I could not necessarily lap, but I could make it all the way down to the other side before the person had gotten halfway on the other side. There was no one I was scared of over there, not even Vance. And I'll tell you, Vance did do great, right? But Vance had confided in me that he had surgery on his leg and that he couldn't jump very much. And so, that was a conversation that he wanted to keep confidential between us. So when I'm okay, Vance isn't, I'm not worried about Vance. Eric, I can beat Eric. Okay, Ethan, Ella. Okay, like, let's go, right? And so the thought of, well, if we are going back to our original strategy of speed, I knew that I could cook and get across fast. And so, but then it was, and I think I even mentioned that, like, well, what if, and again, we're talking strategy on the platform.
Yeah.
What if the three of us just cook? Like, what if we just go as fast as we can? And we could have probably gotten 3, maybe 4 of us across, right? But then one person's not. And that was the thing, is who would go last? Who's that one that's probably not going to make it? And so then it's, okay, that idea is no longer here. And so then it was, so I want to be clear. The thought of throwing the stick was still not, just self-preservation. I'm going to get across and say, screw my team. It was still, I'll go as fast as I can so my team can go, because I knew with the stick I'd be slower, and I was. By the way, for the record, Tyler was leaps and bounds faster than I was with the stick, right? So he absolutely crushed it and was the right choice to go first.
Yeah.
So huge shout out to Ty, right?
Yeah.
So tough overall, tough conversation, tough decisions, and I felt like a lot of the solutions that we had were win-lose situations. Win for some, lose for some. Yeah. The only one that was win would be all right, big boys, get up there and bring us home. And
Yeah.
I was so committed to that.
Yeah.
And I like when my stick drops, my heart dropped. Like
Yeah.
real talk.
Yeah. And I want to clarify for all of the viewers too that what Ian did, that was the only way all five of us would have gotten across. Our thing was Ian was going to take the risk, or Tyler take the risk with a stick, get to the Y, and just hit the rest of the team off. That is the only way we can ensure that all five of us get across, or else there's no other way. And again, they didn't have to do that. And I wanted to clarify that like, they did not have to do that. That was a choice they made for us to get us across, or else they would have been much quicker getting across. Go ahead, Tyler.
You see, once I get to the Y, I'm a good bit ahead of Eric.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, I could have just ditched the stick and finished and stood on the end, right?
Yeah.
But because fighting someone with a stick, I put myself at risk. Eric could have knocked me into the water, or I could have made a mistake and grabbed his helmet and then been eliminated. So. But that thought never crossed my mind. Like I told you, I was going to go and I was going to knock them in the water, and I posted up and I was going to knock them in the water. And the biggest regret I have on Beast Games is that I didn't knock all five of them in the water. And I pissed Vance off after because he came up to me and he said, "You would have knocked me in the water?" And I said, "Yes, I would have knocked you in the water." And that's why Vance was so upset when we would go to the bribe towers, is because I admitted, I said, yeah, I was going to knock you in the water. And that is my biggest regret, because also selfishly, like, imagine how awesome that would have been for TV if I was just right there and just knocked every single one of them into the water. Last one, little Ella just
home run.
And just
you don't have to do that for little Ella. She did it to herself on that one. Actually, I want to know.
Water. I would have looked like the biggest badass, and y'all just take your time and just come on over. I wish that has been what happened. And as soon as I went across, as soon as I lost, Eric falls, and you can't really see it, but he grabs the bottom of. I remember him grabbing kind of the bottom of my jousting stick, and it takes it. And I say on TV, you see me say, "He took my jousting stick," and then I get mad and I finish. I'm like, come on, Ian, come on, Ian. And so, because I knew Ian was the next one who was going to have a stick, I needed him to post up. And you hear me on the TV, like I'm on the show. I'm like, get him, Ian, get him. I'm like, going in on to take out Mike next. In the meantime, Vance like scoots across. I don't know, he snuck in there really quickly.
Yeah. Well, the second that Eric dropped, Vance took off. Vance is quick, and he made moves. So by the time I jump off, he had already passed the windmill. He was leaps ahead of me. And that, I don't know how you moved that quick, Ty. In fact, I get on the circle one, and I didn't know that they spun. For some reason, I get on it, and it's twirling. I'm like, what is happening? Why is this, why is this spinning? I didn't even know that it spun. And so, Vance makes it across. And honestly, like I look up and he makes it across, and I'm like, that's one of the boys. Like that in my mind, it was instant. Like, we can't get all five. And then I was like, we're going to get four. I'm going to stay there. I'm going to get four. And I was so committed to it, dude. Like adrenaline, like everything. I got, the freaking Jekylls, all 40 Jekylls standing there on the side, yelling at me, call me a villain, all of them. And I'm like, because I was there, waiting for my team. Yeah, Mike came without a stick, and he could have grabbed his stick, and he didn't grab his stick. That's on you, dog. So.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. I mean, stay on that for a little bit. How did it feel being called the villain? Because I was shocked by that too. Because no one heard the conversations we were having. It. Yeah, and Tyler, did you get called a villain as well?
No, not when I was fighting.
Eric had a stick though.
Yeah,
Eric had a stick.
Yeah, and Mike was up there pleading. I have a brother and a mommy and a family. And so it's like we all have brothers and moms and families, whatever. Just knock his ass in the water. That's what we said we'd do, and we did it.
Yeah.
But Ian, in the moment while you were on the obstacle course, did you hear people calling that, or did you just like remember it and watching it back?
It was 100 times worse.
Really?
Like they blurred out everything, and it wasn't just one; it was the crowd. It was every single one of them down there cursing at me. Yeah,
I know. I heard them calling you a villain, and so I was in your ear. Knock him in the water and do it.
Yeah. I tell you, I'm so grateful for Tyler. Tyler's my boy. And mind you, I'm there. I look at Mike. He gives his pitch. I turn and I look at Ty. You can see it. I look at Ty because it resonates with me, and I'm a good guy. Am I competitive? Yes. If you get me in a competitive situation, game on, right? But it spoke to me. I turned and looked at Ty, and he goes, "For our team, come on!" And I was like, "Oh yeah!" Like I was in a trance. I snapped back out. I turned, and Ty got me back in that zone like real quick. And it's because Mike was saying that, and the crowd was heckling. I mean, it's almost like I didn't understand what was happening. Why are you all against me right now? What don't you understand about the rules? Like, did you not hear Jimmy say it's first five? Do you not know? And I heard a bunch of them. You're going against the smarts. You're just taking out the smarts. What are you talking? I'm right here because of the smarts, because I'm trying to get those two boys over here, you know?
Yeah.
And so I don't know. It was a really weird experience, you know, and then Mike comes at me, and, you know, we joust, and the rule was very specific, which is this is where my hands can be. That's it, on the stick, right? And he cannot touch. He cannot touch me. He can't push me because he doesn't have a stick. That's why he was so worried. So you can't even push me, right? So you can see him initially trying to like stay on the thing. I'm pushing. He grabs my stick. He pushes my chest. If you watch the BTS, he gets me in a headlock.
Yep.
All these are illegal moves, and you see me. The stick gets pulled from my hand, right? Because he pulls it, which you're not supposed to take my stick. He pulls it. I reach for the stick again. I don't go for him. I'm trying to get the stick, trying to stay within the rules, and then push him off. And then he ends up the headlock and the stick, and he's like falling in my hand as I push the stick and push him off. Right.
Yeah. I mean,
Then
it made
they
sense.
go-
Yeah. Once I saw him hit you, it was like, all right, free for all. Just push him off, bro. Get him
Now,
on.
I'll give everyone.
Yeah.
I'll give all the jackals credit that were on the sidelines. They couldn't see that. They didn't know that Mike was all on my grill, and that was illegal moves across the board. They didn't know that. So hindsight, okay, I'll give you guys a pass. And I did have a couple of them apologize to me after, which actually meant a lot. I'm one of those, like, if you do me wrong, like, you're like X'd. But if you do me wrong and then apologize, okay, no worries. Like, you apologize, we're good. So, anyways,
I was gonna say real quick. It was like such like a bang bang play that in the van, actually, after I know, Mike was like fuming. You know, he was really upset, and actually Klisner had to come in, and Mike was like riled up. He was like, "Bro, you have to review the tape." He's like, he pushed me or whatever, and Klitz had to calm him down. He came in. He's like, Mike, we watched the footage 40 times. Like, he's like, you headlocked him first. He's like, that's when you got eliminated. It wasn't from the put. It wasn't this. He's like, you put him in a headlock, and you were eliminated before you touched the water. And so he tried to like get that, and it was just I felt bad for Mike in that moment, because it's like that whole challenge. If you ask, I mean, at least like me and the whole challenge. Again, it's Beast Games. They can make whatever rules they want. But when they gave us our twist, the whole thing felt unfair from the get-go, which is not unfair. You know, the rules were fair, but it just felt like everybody is scrambling to adjust to these rules. And, I don't know.
And I'll go case by case. So when I saw the game, and when I saw, just like Ian, you mentioned that as soon as Vance went up there, I'm like, all right, that's one of us not going right away. And then, I mean, credit to Omar. Omar's like, Inaam, you go ahead of me, man. This is more you. You said you just want to get to the ending. Go ahead, Tyler. What were you saying?
You brought up a good point. I remember now also why I had to go first is because Eric was only going to go first if I went first. And Vance was in line for them to go first because he's the fastest.
Right.
And you're right. That would have been one instant. He's so fucking fast. I mean, he's like, he's a ninja warrior, right? He's so damn fast. And so if I forced Eric to go first and I could beat Eric, I'd be in position to knock Vance and everyone off.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that was the only way we could get all five. So I do remember that now that you said.
I was just saying, like, when Ian was getting there, Vance kind of sneakily just ran across without a stick, just went all the way to the end. As soon as he made it, that's already, it automatically meant one person from our team was not getting in. I'm like, all right, so that's one person. Omar's like, nah, just go ahead of me. And I'm like, I was like, okay, I stood in front of Omar, but I also felt guilty. I'm like, dude, I didn't want to move on and Omar not get moved on. I was like, all right, I'm still thinking. So now, you know, we got Tyler moved on, Ian moved on. We got two guys from the other team moved on. And now Briley is next. And Briley is the only person I'm thinking about. I'm like, this is the moment to do it. Is there anything I should do right now? Just some kind of conversation or something. And because, or else it's guaranteed. I mean, if you check, technically I got 26th place out of the top 25. I was the next one. And so Briley, I asked her a few times, like, Briley, let me go. But I wasn't as aggressive. I could have been more, but I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like shove her or something? Like it's just there's no point. There's no point. And so
But
Briley,
I remember that conversation. There was a moment where we're deciding, like, we're talking about, like, should you take the stick, should you not? And
Yeah.
somebody was saying something, and you were like, well, then let me go ahead of you, Briley. And I think she like froze. She was like, what? Like, there was no argument to that, you know? It
yeah,
was not like
because she knew. I mean, obviously, she was looking for herself. I was looking for myself.
right.
And I said, okay, if it's not a big deal, then let me go ahead of you. And she didn't really have an answer for that. And we kind of already decided the order. At that point, the only thing I could have prayed for was, dude, I hope Ethan falls. Ethan, or like, I'm like, please just Ethan fall off. Because if Ethan fell off, that means, okay, I got a chance. Let me just book it. Briley made it across. Ethan was already more than halfway. And then and then I see Ella cross, and I'm like, bro, like Ethan made it, that's 5. And then Ella starts booking, and I'm like, what is she doing? That's 5.
Just
And
having
she
fun.
goes, and she just smacks her or something, and I'm like, oh man. And yeah, that's when I realized, I'm like, oh dude, Omar, it's over for us. And part of me was happy that, okay, Omar, we both got eliminated together at least. But yeah, that's what was going on from my end. I'm like, I see all the spots being taken up. I see Briley. That's like the only situation. Maybe I could have convinced her that, hey, let me go first. You're strong. You're faster than me. I might fall off. Like I know it was very likely I could have fallen off, and then you still got an opportunity to do it. But at the moment, I also thought that, look, Mr. Beast, there is luck involved. And so when we saw that game, when I saw that I'm not going to have a chance, I felt fine. I'm like, Mr. Beast games have luck involved. At least it's not as bad as season 1, but there is some luck involved. And this was just luck. I mean, if it was any team against us, there's no way they were going to beat us. It happened to be the game that we're playing, and it is what it is. It's the rules. And so I was not upset. Me and Omar were probably the happiest guys in the van. We're like, we had a great 3 weeks, and then, we get to go back to our family. It's been a great experience. We met some great people. Everyone else in the truck was just bawling their eyes out.
It was rough.
But when you live it out again through the show, I probably thought more about what if I push more to like convince Briley to let me go first. I probably thought about it a lot more now when I get all these messages and all this. Everyone watches the show, but at the moment, I was fine. I'm like, all right, Briley, she got in. She got, it is what it is. The rules sucked for us. The last game we had the toughest game. Ethan could have fallen. Keep in mind, none of the guys fell either. If there was just one person that fell, we would have had a chance. Or at least I would have had a chance.
Here's my thing is, we did get a lot of messages so far about like, why didn't you guys decide to go like strong, smart, or something like that, And I'm like, yeah, we never really like talked about that, but like just like for fairness or whatever. But also at the same time, I feel like when I'm looking up there at my like, do I have more likelihood to get across, or more likelihood that I trust Tyler and Ian to fight off the other team for me? And honestly, like, they don't show this, but like, I had like a small foot injury for the couple of days before it, and I didn't trust myself to get across. I'll be honest. I was like, all right. I saw Avery like, Avery like face plant, and I was like, Avery is like leagues more athletic than me, and if he struggled with this thing, I was like, I don't know if I trust myself to get across. I'll be honest. That's what I was thinking. So I was like, for me, strategy wise, it wasn't just like, giving up. It was like strategy wise, I trust Tyler and Ian to fight off the other team. Like that's, I feel good about this. So watching it back when everybody's like, you're a villain, Ian, I'm like, the one solution for standing up for your team was what we went with. And like, you know what I mean? Like if our twist sucked, but the only way to treat our twist like a team is to fight for your team. And that's what we did. So I don't know how, but like he went the only non-villain route you could,
and you got called an idiot. So. I was shocked by that.
Well, I definitely have like mad respect for you dudes for being team players and giving me your faith and trust, and also Ian.
Yes.
Really appreciate that. That meant a lot. And it's like if I had gone over there and knocked Eric and then just went and knocked all of them off, then y'all don't even have to go across. Like they're all eliminated. I mean, you wouldn't even have to have gone across, I don't think. Okay, I do have this question there. So what if, I knock Eric, he takes my lance or whatever, and then Vance scoots across, and then Ian comes up and he eliminates the rest of the team. All right, but there's going to be either you, Omar, or Inaam. One of you are not going to be able to go. And y'all can take your time, because all the other teams, the rest of the team's been eliminated, but only one of you can go.
Yeah.
You know, whoever gets to go first is going to get that spot. How would y'all decide?
I mean, I know I would tell Omar you go. Omar would tell me you go. That's how it's like.
See,
Y'all would have made TV
honestly,
just been like, no, you can go. No, you can go.
Yeah, it would be Canadian.
I think not honestly. When I was watching it back, so when we got up there, for whatever reason, like I got up there and I was like, I was scared of it. I was like, dang, it's nighttime, it's raining, this thing's slippery, all these people.
It's different on an obstacle course when it's nighttime, when you're that high up, when
Yeah.
you're in the middle of the night. Like I try to like train my students and talk to my students and prep them, before the show. Like you need to understand like the intensity and that pressure, cameras in your face, and you got to jump, 10 feet. Good luck,
And that first platform is like below you. You're kind of just like trusting like a fall. And yeah, I don't know. It was for me. There's one of the people who was supposed to go across in the earlier, in one of the earlier twists of the challenge, and she's like looking at it and just like freezes and like.
What was that?
I feel like that would have been me. I got up there. I was like, nope, Inaam, you can go first. Like,
and Sydney was an 8-time Miss Olympia. She was on Survivor, and
was that real?
She froze. Yeah.
No, was that editing or was that she actually froze? Because I was.
I remember watching it. She never went. Yeah, she just.
Wow.
Yeah, so I do think for whatever reason I was definitely like. I think Inaam has a confidence that I don't have also. So I was
excited. I was like, yo, if I get a chance.
You were ready for it.
Even if I fall in front of everyone, I'm like, I'm doing it. I'm not going to not
try.
All right,
so I'm hearing the answer is Omar may have let Inaam go.
Yeah, I think that's how it would have played out. I would have just like walked back down the stairs and be like, you can do whatever you want. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you, Ian? Anything else? Are you guys still good on time? I mean, I think we're all wrapping up soon, but like, you guys good?
What was the question? Or are you asking a question or just any other thoughts?
Yeah, any other thoughts?
I want to give extra praise to the production because tensions were really high after. Because then the rest of the contestants come up. We're supposed to be celebrating that we all moved on, but tension's so high. Everyone's pissed at me. So I'm on a platform with people that are furious at me because I pushed Mike off, and they didn't see yet. And so then, Jimmy and Klitz, they turn around and they say, no, he had an illegal move. He had Ian in a headlock. What Ian did was just Ian's in. Mm-hmm. And they said, we'll show you. And they ended up showing us. Oh, wow. So everybody saw the headlock. Everybody saw the illegal move. And that was clearly talked about in the beginning. No hands. You cannot touch the other person. So I want to give them praise because had I moved on with the exact same situation and they not show, there would have been doubt. There would have been, more questions around Ian and whatnot. So.
Yeah. Hey, they also gave you a really nice edit too because they did those little flashbacks where he was like, "I'm gonna shave that beard and take it as a trophy."
I got some messages. Yeah, I got some messages about that. They're like, "Hey, why is that guy with the long beard being a villain when the guy was talking trash to him?"
Yeah, and they talked a lot of smack to me and Ian. I mean, like, see, like Eric was like, "Only got a problem with 2 people, Ian and Tyler over there." So.
Now, Ian, we don't know what's gonna happen episode 4, 5, 6, whatever. I want to know what are your thoughts if you are made to become the villain. Are you okay with that or what? Because we were just talking about this before, and I told you, I'm like, for social media, I mean, for me personally, all press is good press, dude. It does not bother me at all, but I know it affects people very differently. Some people it does affect. So, like, when you get called a villain, does it kind of hit you a little bit, or
I don't think Ian could be a villain if he tried. He's a good dude.
Thank you. Monica said it, and what at that point, what credential? She's a critic without credentials against me. Like what do you mean? Like, I recall conversations with Monica. We were on neutral terms, but Monica and Jim, they had their duo going, and I'm a big Survivor fan. I'm a big reality fan, right? So in Survivor, once you have a duo, then that's considered a power couple, and then those people are the ones that are instead of 1 vote, have 2 votes. So they have a little bit more power. So typically, they end up getting taken out sooner, right? So in my mind, like I distanced myself from her and Jim quickly as far as like alliance wise. We were cordial, we were fine, but I'm like, I don't want to be, and then an alliance with them. So, to have her say, "Oh, Ian's the villain," okay, whatever. Like, she's always looking for the camera to say something. She
Mhm.
just happened to say it about me. So
Yeah.
whatever. It's as far as being the villain
On TV.
like, yeah, no, I mean, those people that know me, and
Exactly.
I've been reading reviews, like, and I see the comments and stuff, and just as many people are like, "Oh, he's a villain. He pushed someone in." Other people were like, "Why didn't the other dude bring his stick? Why
Mhm.
was the other guy telling him, 'I want your beard as a trophy'? Like, why was the other guy doing that?" Like, there's the voice of reason on both
Yeah.
sides. So with the edit, we have 40 minutes to have a whole TV show, and I happen to have this much of it, and this much out of that much, some people are saying, "Oh, he's a villain," whatever. Like, I'm there for my wife, my kids, and
Yeah.
I'm competitive. I'm doing what I gotta do. People are still
Yeah.
saying that about like the Jeremy bit. Yeah, I was trying to go against Jeremy, and I was trying to poke the bear, and I'm trying to get him to go against me. Why? There's no connection. I haven't been with him. He's an OG. Like, it's gameplay. Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, for me personally, I think if you have loved ones and they think well of you, I don't care what the camera thinks about me. I really don't. Hey, if it gets me more views, dude, I'll lean into it. Like I was telling Ian before we started recording that I'm posting all these screenshots of, oh, there, your team did you dirty, blah blah blah. I'm like, I told Ian, I'm just leaning into it. That's the only way people know about it. I'll give them what they want. Yeah, man. And then now when I post a video about it, now people are going to be curious, like what the heck actually happened, right? Yeah. So I'd say Ian, just lean into that crap, dude.
Yeah, I did. I posted a picture of me and some little gif, and it's like some I don't know, Disney character yelling, "You're a villain" or something like that, and I'm like, whatever. So
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good. And honestly,
Ian,
I'm
Ian,
good
you're a
with
good dude.
Monica.
You're a
Like,
good dude.
thank
Okay.
you. That means a lot. Monica, I'm good with Monica. I'm good with Jim. I'm good with Eric. I'm good with Vance. Like, I'm good with everybody. So
Yeah. Okay. All right. Is that it? Any other thoughts? Tyler, Omar?
I just want to reiterate, I guess, I failed in my mission to eliminate the team, but y'all's trust was well placed in that that was my mission, and I tried my best, and I'm sorry I let you guys down. Officially apologize.
No, man. No.
No, yeah, I mean, I think this is our first, non-text conversation since that elimination. So it's, yeah, it's crazy actually. No, I appreciate that. But no, I mean, yeah, no love lost. Like it's good to just be able to chat with you guys again.
Yeah, same, man. I think we met some of the coolest people there. Like I was telling someone yesterday, I went to Brown University. It's an Ivy League school. The amount of talent I saw at Beast Games makes Brown University look like nothing, dude. It was trash. Like compared to the amount of talent I saw, smart and strong, it was insane. Once in a lifetime opportunity. I enjoyed every single minute of being there. Enjoyed it, and I know Tyler and Ian, you guys did everything you could have. Things didn't work out. That's part of the game, man. Part of the game. You got to get back up and try again.
I will say, just as a fan of the show, I'm excited to see what happens with you guys because
for sure.
at this point, like me and Inaam, like we're caught up. Like that's it. We're experiencing with everybody else. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But I just wishing you guys both luck and excited to see what happens.
All right, guys. See you later. Peace.
All right.
Wait, hold on. I'm pressing the end record.